I want to welcome everyone here. My name is Mark Ehrlichs, and I'm a healer by the grace of God, and this is all that I do in my life. And it's all that I enjoy doing, and I've been doing it for a long time in earth life, approximately 47 years. And I've been telling everyone 37, and then someone says, it's been longer than that. And I just, hey, Roxy, good to see you. Good to see you. And so I've been telling everyone 37, and I didn't even know it. And someone told me, no, it's longer than that, Ehrlichs. And I say, oh. So I had to think about it for a while. And then I had to go to the calculator and figure it up. And I came up with 47. I said, oh my God. And it's been a while. And good to see you, Roxy. Thanks so much for being here. I appreciate that. And I put out a call to a lot of people, and we'll see how many get to find the time to join us. So, in any case, a couple quick mentions, and let me see if I can find it here. We're going to be having a marvelous and exciting uh, experiential spiritual healing introduction course. Whether you're advanced or you're just finding out or realizing or thinking that you want to learn how to work with this stuff, or even if the most advanced people tell me that they get a ton out of it, and it's just so worth it. And that's coming up Monday, and we already have signups for it. And of course, Lynn will be coordinating a lot of this stuff, and and she's on my website if you want to contact her as administrator. And you could please put your Lynn, if you don't mind, if you could put your information out there. And let's see what else. She keeps everything together. Thank God. And also, so that's going to be a 5-day course. And I'll be working with you and helping you to find a direction for a healing that may be a little bit different. The cost of it is $250. It's 5 days, an hour a day. Well worth your time. Just well worth it. And it's experiential. And it's going to go into healing in a very simplified way. But there you go. Thanks so much, Lynn. Lynn just put it up. But you'll come out of it with a deeper understanding of going within and drawing upon that within source to do everything for you, and even how not to get the cooties when working with someone and or worrying about it, and just tons of information on it. And if anyone is interested, please immediately do sign up. And some people are already doing it. Let's see here. So, yes, there are activities to practice, and it's just very experiential. You'll love it. Lynn has done it. I've even done it, and, listening to my own advice there and what comes forth. So, then there's also, I believe, Lynn and I scheduled every other week for these mini courses. And this last one got out of hand, and I took it for an hour, but it's really supposed to be for 20 minutes to a half an hour maximum. It was dynamic. We've given a mini course on utilizing prayer, and one after that, there was a course on light and working with healing. And then the next one is on manifestation. They're just incredible. That's good questions, Roxy. I appreciate that. I will give a certificate if you want. I can arrange that. I can get one emailed to you after the course. And let's see, payment plan, I can work with you. if you contact me. I can definitely work with you. So please be conscious of that. I will definitely work with you, and I will give a certificate if anyone requests that. Uh, let's see. Mini light course was spectacular. Thank you, Patty. Uh, it's the old way I used to teach, and they're just filled with information and the ways to discover yourself. All the mini classes. That's what they're for. And they're very short. They're not a course. They're free, and they're available to everyone, just everyone. So do take advantage of those. And Patty, you've been to all of them, and I appreciate that, and I'm glad that you like them. Let's see, what else here? So we got the progressive introduction, the experiential healing course that's going to be starting next Monday. I highly recommend it. And let's see, any other questions here? When does class start? Monday at, what I think, Lynn, it's noon. It starts at my time on Boulder time. And in New York or on the East Coast, I believe that's 2 hours later. Yes, it is. So it'll be around 2 o'clock your time. Good questions, Roxy. I appreciate that. So the course will be starting on this Monday at noon. And for anyone who's participated in any of the paying courses, then I will offer a free 15-minute session with me. It may go over a couple minutes if you don't mind, and it'll be on anything you want to work with. And I offer that to anyone who's taken any of these paid courses online. So please do take advantage of those. It'll be for guidance, direction, for working with healing, or spiritual questions, or anything that you're interested in. And every Wednesday we have this gathering where I'll be answering questions. I'll be giving diatribes sometimes. I'll also be working with spiritual healing. And then at the very end, there'll be a short meditation, and that'll be it. And this is not a class. It's just designed to introduce you to what I do, how I do it, and to try to answer anything as far as questions that I might be able to answer pertaining to healing, pertaining to spirituality, pertaining to intuition, pertaining to anything you can conjure in the spiritual realm of understandings. So I also have at all times, except after usually 8 o'clock at night, my time, and very rarely after 8 o'clock, depending upon the person's schedule, I do have appointments that are available, usually from 11 a.m. my time onward. And just all around the country. I've had them from Europe, I've had them from Korea, I've had them from just all different places that you can think of. And let's see, are there any other questions I can try to add to the list tonight of what you want answered? Please feel free, and if I have time, I will try to answer them. Firstly, I want to know if you would like me to work with you for one thing tonight, please share it, just one thing. And thanks, Lynn, I appreciate you putting it up. And I'll do everything I can for a couple minutes time for one thing only. And if you say both your arms are killing you, and then I'll work with one arm, whatever's the worst. And to answer Roxy's question, she wrote, can I immediately work with clients after the class? Of course. You'll be able to step out boldly in your life and try these things. And I won't get into working with questions. I'm not a psychic. Sometimes I see things, so I'll express those, but that'll be it. As far as the abundance goes, um, it's a good question. I feel that a lot of it is within us, waiting to be discovered. It doesn't mean that you're going to have end up being filthy rich or anything like that, but you'll be filthy rich within yourself. And that's what we're striving for, is to learn about ourselves, to learn how to find the unlimitedness of that divinity within. That's where I come from. And I also believe that's where the Gnosticism leads into. Not being agnostic. Agnostic is disbelief in God. And Gnostic is really going within yourself and finding that godliness. Then we find that things around us in our life, as we're developing the withinness, if there is such a word, I love to make up words, even experientiated, when we experience something in action for this moment. That's experientiated. But we find that within ourselves, that it's emanating forth, attracting, just totally attracting whatever is for us in our life. Hey, Connie, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. And we have the availability to open those doors as we open from within. It's not feasible if someone says, oh, just out of the blue, I want to be president. Well, unless you have the preparation for that, that's not going to be. So, Elaine, hi, good to see you. Good to see you. And so we have these things available that are waiting to blossom in what I call God's world. You may call it the Creator, you can call it the Nameless One, you can call it Buddha, Muhammad, Yahweh, whatever you want. But it's waiting to share with us as we come to it. And that's, I believe, the Gnostic way. And I can give you information of how you can do it and how you can tap into that source that's within you waiting to be discovered. And that's what I do with intuition. That's what I do with healing. That's what I do with all the courses, with the prayer, with the light course, everything. And please be aware that these are available for replay, that you might discover that when you are replaying those things. They're available to you if you listen a little bit more to what's being said, and hopefully you'll be able to resonate with it. In working with spiritual healing, there's, and I talked about this a little bit in this last mini course. There's something, there's a term I use, and I don't mean it in a derogatory way by any means. I'm not biased in that way or prejudiced. I'm not, at least in my understanding or knowing. And I don't demean people in any way, and I just won't go there in my life. But the term I use is common people. But everyone here is attracted to the understanding of healing to some degree according to our needs this time, this place. And what I refer to as common people are the ones that aren't attracted to it because they're not here for that. They don't need it. And those people are attracted to us. The common people are, an analogy of that is they're attracted to materiality, they're attracted to the wealth, they're attracted to their work, they're attracted to logic, and those sorts of things according to the world's needs. And that's fine. And there's nothing incorrect about it, because it takes the whole humanity to be in that mind of God, in what I refer to as God. And in that reality of that divinity, we all have a different place. So those people are going to be attracted to us. And we have the ability, when we see someone that isn't feeling well, to help them, whether it be either immediately or over a short period of time, or it'll exponentiate into their healing or their passing, if that's needed for that person. And so we have the availability to go within ourselves and with all of our heart, and to be able to be there. And that's all that matters. And then allowing that divinity and that godliness within take over. That's what it does. That's all it wants to do through us. You're going to find a healer on every street corner. You're going to find a psychic on every street corner. You can find all kinds of people on every street corner, and that's fine. But generally they don't last because they don't know how to go within. Generally, the great experience that they have, or several experiences they had, start to dwindle because they don't know how to go within, because they haven't been taught to go within. And I'll help you in the dialogues of all the courses that are offered to learn how to go within and to utilize it, because it wants us to. Maureen, hi. And Snehi, hi. Thanks for being here, Maureen. I really appreciate that. And so all these things are available to us. And I talk about this with every course, every mini course. All the courses are on YouTube. And you can get to them, I believe, through the website, if that's correct, Lynn. And they're also posted sometimes when they're uploaded into YouTube. They're posted on Facebook, I think. And so Lynn's in charge of all that stuff. And Lynn's in Canada, which is really cool. And how this internet stuff works, I just don't know. And so that's where Lynn comes in and helping me with lots of things. And so and she's my assistant there. And so that's to answer some of that stuff. And there will be replays for this. There'll be a replay right afterwards. I'll post it up. I'll just say finish, and it'll finish for me. And so, all right. Let me see here. When you go to the replay, though, please do me a favor and type in hashtag or # replay, and I'll know that you saw it on the replay. And let's see, Lynn wrote, not private classes. Correct. All the private classes are separate and only available to those people that took that class. But all the gathering classes that we've had, and all the healing circles that we've had, and all the mini classes will be posted on YouTube. So please look out for them, and they are available to you. And please visit them. And also, when you do a replay, put in hashtag or # replay. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And let's see. Here's one question I had. Hi, Mark. I hope this is appropriate for your Wednesday group, as long as it's not bad. I've been working on my spiritual journey for a few years and have worked with many teachers. Something I noticed they have in common, and I was wondering if you could answer about it. And she wrote, they have difficulty with relationships. I got this last week. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. So sorry. And I already wrote about that, and the energies that, and you know, the things that we go through, and that I don't believe that the Spirit will tell us to leave a relationship. I believe that we make a decision to. All right, and I apologize for that question here. That was last week's question. So let's get down to some newer questions here. Let me see here. My friend Sue, she wrote, "Hey Nicole, thank you so much for being here." And Becky, oh my gosh. We're having fun tonight, you guys. Let me see here. There's many types, and Sue asked a question. There's many types of alternative healings that have self-help protocols. What is it for spiritual healing? Well, my answer is I believe that all alternative healing types have something to offer. As long as they're developing the growth in a person, and as long as they're giving a guidance and a direction for the individual. That's the only thing that's really, really important. And the spiritual in spiritual healing is also leading the person into their source. That's the only protocol that I feel is what a person is looking for in their life, is finding their source through guidance and direction. And it isn't ever telling a person what to do, and but it's leaving it to the person to help them find themselves and even what their forte is in life. It's always leading into something. It's not to say you have to have 500 of these courses in order to feel healed. It's leading that person that they have the ability to apply this and grow from it. That's what I believe. The only protocol is to, for spiritual healing, and I would hope for all modalities of working with healing, is to find that calm within and to draw upon it. And when you're drawing upon it, you're opening up the intuition. Kira, my friend, hey, how are you, hon? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. And it's literally allowing that person to find themselves. That's what all protocols, in my understanding, could be about, and with spiritual healing, especially. And so the person we're working with may not necessarily be open to what we believe, and going into another aspect of that, say if we're working with someone, helping them to feel better, and the protocol for working with that is not to have a person or have a need for that person to believe anything, but to help them to find themselves, even in the healing as that integrates within them while we're working with them. We're not necessarily, those people are not necessarily open to what we believe, nor do they want to be, but they're coming to us for help, and that's the only thing that matters. And just because they don't want to believe in what we believe in any way doesn't make them ineligible to be healed. Spiritual healing is putting our heart into it without discrimination, without any prejudices, without any kind of, thinkings on our part in any way. All we're doing is giving of ourselves, nothing more, nothing more. My friend Christina, she asked a question. I don't know if she's here tonight. I think she is. Christina asked a question. If it's not too late, how do you know the difference between an energetic shift within us versus the feelings of sadness, of fear that's trying to sneak in? And Hey, hi, Christina. I thought that was a great question. Again, how do you know the difference between an energetic shift within us and feeling of sadness or fear trying to sneak in? And my simple answer is by learning to observe. And I think it's the greatest tool that's ever given to us is the tool of observation. And that's objective observation. It's uh, it's not reacting. It's observing, and it's keeping it clean within ourselves where we're taking a honest look. But we're not necessarily taught that we can do these things. We're always taught to react. And that's what we grow up with, that's what we learn, and that's what we project into the world is our reactions. But now we have an opportunity to kind of step back and observe and what our feelings are, what our dynamics around us are, what's really happening. If we step back, if we're in a situation of life or something's happening in life, as we step back, we get to see the simplicity of it. There's no judgments, there's no thinkings, there's no reactions, there's nothing, none of that stuff. Hey, Jill, thanks for being here. And so I think the observation is the most awesome tool that we're allowed. But the neat thing is, it even leads, as we learn observation, it even leads towards a greater perception of intuition, and it helps to develop it within our lives and our receptions of it. We're perceiving a guidance and direction from within that can help solve problems, that can help solve situations, and also send a prayer through the observation. Our prayer is being given and things work out. That's what I refer to as grace. Because we're coming to our source and we're looking within to it, and it's going to automatically take over and fix things or help us to understand things and also to get out of things. In some sense, I live by this, by the grace of God, and I am so thankful for it. And I just, I'm glad. I'm just very glad that exists, because I would have been gone a long time ago in my life. And I'm sure many of us, we can relate to the times where all of a sudden everything has gone havoc in our life. Our life has been hell. And we're ending up with literally nothing in life, and we don't know what's going to happen, and we're so scared. I mean, this has been my experience in the past, and we've been so scared, and we don't know where else to turn. And for one moment in all that, there's something that happens. It's like a little tiny prayer that goes out because we're empty, and now we're giving our entire life to something, our source, unbeknownst to us, but we're giving our entire life to that, and then everything works out. Everything changes. We change. Our dynamics change. Our life changes. And then we go back into our life. We try to find the normal, and then we just take on where we left off, we think, but it's at a different level of life. So that's what I call, with your energetic shift within a feeling of sadness, and what else does she write here? And fear trying to sneak in. It's, here's the part that I wanted to get to. And she also wrote, I've been feeling down and not sleeping, but I can't really pinpoint what it is. and wondering if another downtime or change in vibrational frequency is happening. And the the downtimes are always happening, but you'll notice, as Christina knows from other classes, that we climb in this pinnacle of great things happening, wonders happening around us, and we're feeling so good, and we're, for us that are on the spiritual path, we think that we're learning so much from the divinity within and all around and other teachers, whatever. And then all of a sudden, we crash. But in that crash, what happens is we don't have to. We realize we don't have to, because that crash is given to us on a golden platter. It's literally handed to us because that's the time that we're integrating all those wondrous things into our life. But we're taught from birth on, by family, by friends, by situations that we're involved with, we get to see around us, by other people's, everything, that we have to be down, we have to be sad, we have to be distraught, we have to be mad, we have to be all kinds of things, we have to fake it. It's literally handed to us on a golden platter so that it can integrate those high times. And as we do realize that it's an integration, those harsh times, instead of crashing, turn into like a wave of not crashing or not having to climb back up in realization or whatever, or growth. Everything is handed to us on a golden platter. All we have to do is be objective when we're going through a situation, being observant when we're going through a situation, and recognizing that it's a downtime to integrate what we just came through. I hope that makes sense for people. I truly do. And if there's any questions about that, please. Please. Yes, it's very important to observe, and I teach that pretty thoroughly in almost all my classes. It's integrated in no matter what kind of class it is. Diana, please, you were having a situation with your throat, and have you had the surgical procedure? Please let me know. I'm so curious about that, and we worked with it a little bit, and I'd love to hear about that. We all would, please, and for those that were here last week during the gathering, just love to hear about that, please. Is there anyone else that has one thing that I could possibly work with healing? Please, anyone. Feel free to just tell me one thing. If you have several things, name one of those, and I'll gladly do it. And let's see here. My new friend Julian, he wrote, "Hi there, does Mark do I have any recommendations or exercises for falling asleep quicker at night? Thanks. Very important to learn what relaxation really is. I always use it." Let's see here. Well, Julian, I think that one of the things, I don't know your habits and what you do at night, or your schedule or anything else, or if you have a glass of wine or anything. I think one of the important things is that a lot of people fall prey to is watching TV before they go to sleep. That's a stimulant. That stimulates the neurons in the brain, and it leaves impressions that keep on working. So, hey Bebop, good to see you here. Thanks for being here. And the other thing, besides the TV, I think that it's really good to, if you have a difficult time falling asleep, is to start reading. And Please try that. I think reading, I think saying prayers before sleep within yourself, even if we so-called don't know how to pray. And we can, God doesn't care, what we pray. It's how we pray. If we pray from our heart, that's all that matters. And if we give it to God, that's all that matters. Prayers are important. And we're always praying anyways through every word, every thought, every action. It's our living prayer. So that's a good way. And also, if you can picture yourself at night while you're trying to go to sleep, picture yourself getting up in the next morning or whenever it is that you wake up. If you can picture yourself being refreshed and eager to explore life or to go to work or to do whatever you're doing or to work at the computer at home or anything. And if you can picture yourself doing this with excitement and feeling refreshed, that will also help you at night to go to sleep. That's what I've found true. And I've even utilized the angelics, the angels. I say, okay, I'm laying here for a while and I can't go to sleep. I don't feel the tiredness or I'm not aware of it. Help me out, angels. Help put me to sleep. And they will. They will. All right, I got a couple, that's my answer, Julian. That's totally my answer. And I got a couple, questions here. And please, Roxy, can you tell me what is wrong with your jaw? That's one thing. Tell me what's wrong with your jaw. And meanwhile, while you're writing it, I'll go to Bebop. I need a blessing to help increase my vibration. What do you mean by increasing your vibration? What will that do for you? And why do you need help in that? Please answer these things. And here's one from Maureen. My brother-in-law, Don, is in the hospital facing surgery, fighting for replacing discs in his neck. I would gladly say a prayer for him, Maureen. Gladly. And June 1st is the prayer for it's a hysterectomy. Okay, June 1st. Okay, thanks for sharing that, and I'll work with you on that. Today's the 27th, so I'll definitely say prayers for that. And all right, with Maureen, Don's in the hospital facing surgery Friday, this Friday in day and a half, all right, for replacing discs in his neck. What I can do is I'll ask a blessing on him and allow that divinity to come forth to make it easy and to make it as comfortable as possible for Don. I gladly do that, and I'll do that now. What I also perceived was that when I perceive something, it's not in my thoughts to ahead of time to perceive it, and I try to be as blank as possible, and then saying my prayer within, and then I'll be sometimes shown things. That's my perception. And in working with Don, your brother, I got to see the doctor saying it went really well. And usually it takes several months for that particular area to be fairly functioning. And this might quicken it. So that's what my prayer is for, and not to be in disastrous discomfort in his life. So, there. All right. Um, let's see here. Um, Diana already answered. And Bebop, I've been feeling really down lately. Please, Bebop, it's so important that you recognize within yourself, all right, if you're down, then you've, prior to being down, you're on a high in life. And you have to refine that high and just notice it, recognize it. Don't try to believe it because you can't live in the past. You recognize that and realize that you were on a high, things were going normal and good, and then all of a sudden you began to deteriorate in that high. That's the crashing we're talking about. But that crashing is really an integration of everything you've been all your life that led up into that high. So now it's integrating within you, and it won't, let yourself know that it's not necessary to go through the dilemma of it or the internal trauma of it. I advocate that so much. And recognize, go back and recognize the prior to that crash that you've been having that's been incremental, and know that it's basically just an integration. That's all it is. And from this, though, if you choose, you can gently come back up to an even keel. That's what your life has been like in wanting that even keel for you. And that's how you can identify with it. Other people have other experiences, but this is for you. So please take to heart that was just, it was the good times before, where everything was coming into an even keel, but now you're going through the change. And it's an awesome change too, and you're going to be growing from this. Keep that in mind, please. Please, it's very important for you. Very important. And then you'll find that the even keel stays in there more often versus crashing and then coming back up. All right. For too many things, Roxy. You're telling me lots and lots of things. What I'd like to do, I'll just work with one thing. And let's see here. And you may or may not feel this. Many people do when I do work with them. And they know that something has happened. And so if you can just adhere to what I'm requesting, is just sitting back and just relaxing for a moment, not knowing what I'm doing because you don't. And so let me take over, and when I take over, the divinity really takes over, not me. And please understand. And so I'm going to put my hands on your jaw, and you may sense something happening, please. There was just, in my perception, and I won't speak for you, but in my perception, there was a relaxation, and there was like a movement inside, which might have helped some of the trauma that the jaw has been experiencing. there you go. And please let me know if you sense any of these things. Anyone here, matter of fact. And Bebop, this is not unusual for me. I was doing pretty good until last week when things started going downhill. Yes, I understand. I understand. But you're good in your life, Bebop, with the even keel. And that's what you like. And you don't necessarily want to, you know, go crazy in life. That's not your way anymore. And so it's just not your way. And you're more for the even keel. You want, it's like settling in life, which is what you're striving for in life, if I'm correct. Hi, Eileen. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. And Susie, yay! I hope you liked the very long mini class that we had yesterday, Susie. You and your hubby. I know quarantine makes it worse. I'm just totally aware of that. But it's a time that actually humanity is given a chance to go within themselves. And, you know, why don't we take advantage of it? Why don't we take advantage of learning how to go within ourselves and wondering about it? And as we do wonder about it, being really sensitive to the answers that we might be getting. After this ends, then we're going to say to ourselves, oh, you know, I guess I did have an opportunity back then to be, you know, going within and all this other stuff, or to doing prayer work or doing meditation, but, you know, I got too busy. And if we can just allow ourselves to go within a little bit, we kind of crave it. It's almost like the taste of honey returns the bee. The more we taste of that nectar within, the more we desire it, because we know it's a truth within us. And I can help you do these things. I do that in the classes, the appointments. And so take advantage of these words, you know, and wonder if I can go within what it might mean to me. Just in wondering about that is a little taste of honey. Then, because we're getting answers either immediately or over time, in a short period of time, the information comes to us. But if we stop ourselves when the information comes to us and wonder more about that, more comes to us. And then we get hooked. I'm glad, Roxy, and I just really pray that the jaw really, really, you know, just starts to feel more relaxed in the muscles for the jaw as well. And just keep going back to it. And you can even imagine my hands on your jaw. And if you can deeply imagine that, to image it in action, that's what imagination is, to image in action. If you can imagine that, they will be there. And that will help you as well. Many, many, many people have told me that. So, all right, let's see if there's any other questions here. Oh my God, it's 7:53 already. Well, all right, let's do a little bit of a meditation. And please, everyone, just please sit back and relax for a moment. Or if you're in a bed, lay back, according to your time zone, whatever, and just close your eyes, please, just for a moment. And with your closed eyes, just take in a deep, deep breath, real slow motion though, not fast or forced. Just take a deep breath in and let it out gently in slow motion. It has to be slow motion, please. Then the next breath, I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose. Slowly, all the way down into the lowest part of your belly. and just as slowly out through your mouth. And take another breath in through your nose, all the way down. You'll see that it goes even further down. And every time you do this, it'll go deeper and deeper and deeper within you. And slowly and gently, in slow motion, out through your mouth. Imagine, to image in action, that God breathed through the nostrils of man and woman and gave them life. Just imagine that. That God actually breathed through the nostrils of man and woman and gave them life. Imagine that breath just igniting within you, from within and coming forth from your hands, your feet, your face, as you're breathing out. You've ignited that light within, that life. Imagine this. Image it. Nothing more. Take another breath in, more consciously, in through your nose, watching the breath of God come into you, going deep within you. And watch the life of that breath coming out of your hands, your face, your feet, your legs, your belly. Watch the life coming out. As freely as it gives life to you, watch it emanate from you, that very life. Observe it. Observe it. Observe it. Then gently, when you're ready, come on back and open up your eyes real gently. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please, if you can do me a favor, and in the bar at the bottom, comment bar, put hashtag you rock. Twitter loves it. I mean, excuse me, not Twitter, but Google loves it. And I always say this. So, I appreciate everyone being here. It's an honor. And please, don't forget the class. Sign on up for that class. It starts Monday. And thanks, Patty and Christina. Yay! And let's rock. Let's rock. Every one of y'all. Blessings to you. Thanks. I appreciate that, Roxy, Kathy, everyone. Heather, yay! Don't forget to see the replay on this. It'll be up if you missed any part of it or you want to go over any words. Diana, yay! Lynn, yay! Maureen, yay! And Bebop, yeah, I love it. Becky, thank you so much. Everyone here, yes. Roxy Rocker. And there's the information for the experiential introduction that Lynn put up. Blessings to everyone here. Thank you. Bye-bye.